All right. So tonight on our team call, guys, we're going to talk about an idea that I had that was inspired by the fact that now a lot of times our workouts are shorter, and people are demanding that they have effective, short, workouts that deliver on the promises but don't take an hour anymore. And I got to thinking about how that trend is going that way with the workouts. So the quality is not being compromised, but people are not doing it for 90 minutes. Like the 90-minute P90X yoga, nobody's really wanting to do that anymore, but they want to have results. And I thought, well, a lot of times when new coaches particularly come into the business, they get overwhelmed because all of a sudden they feel like they went from being a client, a customer, to working out and just doing their thing and trying to inspire some people to then all of a sudden I have to coach and there's this big, huge, long list of things that I need to do every day. And they get overwhelmed with the time that it takes. Others don't have that. But even if you find yourself watching this on the recording and you think that maybe you're not the coach who's overwhelmed by the time, you could still do what I'm going to share about doing tonight, and you could do 2 or 3 of these a day. But they're shorter, segmented. I'm calling them coach business blitzes. The idea is this: what if we could do, instead of the power hour that a lot of people talk about, doing a power 30 or a power 22, like a 22-minute hardcore business blitz. Okay, so that's where I'm going with this. I just simply am going off some notes that I made for myself today. And by the way, I am carrying a little journal around with me now, and I write down ideas that I have. So I really suggest that you guys do that too, if some sort of way to write your thoughts down. It's proven that as you write your thoughts down, then you kind of dump them into a book to go back later, then you don't clutter your mind up when you can think of other new things. So that's a free tip for you guys today, all right? Okay, so here's the idea behind this. The idea is this: if you had 22 minutes, I'm going on sort of the framework of the 22-minute hardcore workout, right? If you had 22 minutes to sit down and focus on your business, and I mean focus, like you don't have the kids are gone, you're not preparing things that, if you think about it like this, if you think about like the workout, this is the actual workout with the clock running, okay? It's the business version of the workout with the clock running. This is not prepping food on Sunday. This is not shopping, metaphorically shopping for things. This isn't planning and preparing a whole bunch of things ahead of time. This is sitting down and hitting your business, building activities hard. So this is what I think, if you had 22 minutes, what you should do. First of all, very, very important. The first thing is 7 minutes of personal development reading or listening. That could be scripture for you. It could be a combination of things: scripture, prayer, journaling, really, your thoughts, ideas that come to mind. It could be, some inspirational things in addition to some business stuff. Get on your Kindle app on your phone, or if you're at your computer, you don't even need to have a book in front of you necessarily, because, we all run around now, and you could sit there on your phone in the car or something, 7 minutes of that. So 7 minutes of personal development, listening or reading, and then, maybe journaling a little bit too, but mostly taking in good content that's going to help you grow as a person and grow your business. Okay. And get yourself into the growth mindset, into the success mindset, rather than all the cares of the world and troubles of my day. And, we all have that sometimes. We just got to push that aside, take a breath, and do some 7 minutes of personal development reading. Okay. Or listening. All right. The next thing I would say is 5 invitations. And I said 5. The next segments we had 7 of personal development. We're going to have 5 minutes of inviting. Okay. And when I mean inviting, I mean this. I mean going over and saying a message on Facebook Messenger, a text to a friend, calling somebody, cruising by, like, say you were thinking, this would probably be secondary, but like you going to talk, like today I talked to somebody in the hallway at my work about joining my challenge group. And that's important too. Inviting them to a challenge group. Guys, we have got challenge groups starting now, at least once a month, that are team wide involved. Teams are people on your team are leading these to help you, especially you new coaches. Okay, so we always have something, and if we might not just have one, we might have 2. Okay, I'm starting one on the 20th of June. I'm not really sure who's going to be in that, but that's the idea. We're planning these together. Okay, so 5 minutes of inviting to a challenge group, inviting them. Now, what I suggest you do, because again, we've got the clock's ticking on the 22 minutes, right? So you have an invitation structure framework already set up for yourself. And that can be offline some other time, and your coach or I, as a leader on this team, would love to help you figure out, like, What should you say? And how do you make it, personalize it to yourself? But 5 invites, you can do 5 invites in 5 minutes. I should say even 5 minutes, maybe you can do more, okay? But 5 minutes of that, okay? So we're up to 12 minutes of this blitz of a workout, hardcore business blitz, okay? Next thing is high fives. 5 minutes of high fives. You can do a lot of high fives actually in 5 minutes. And what I mean by high fives, and I kind of do the metaphorical high five, is this. Like I do this all the time. Go over to somebody's Facebook, or even like if you're on Snapchat, you can Snapchat somebody a personal video and say, hey, hey Judy, you and I talked a couple of months ago about your daughter. She broke her ankle on a basketball game. How's she doing? Or, my gosh, you guys are just going to go, last time I talked to you, we ran into each other in Starbucks, Joe. You and your wife were going to go take your 25th wedding anniversary to Hawaii. I haven't seen her, was just wondering how you guys are doing and how fun was it? I don't know, whatever, right? Whatever's appropriate to you, reach out to people. You're just going to say, you're cruising by, you're giving them a high five to say, how are you doing, what's going on in your life? You don't necessarily have a huge agenda with inviting, but I tell you what, as you start to really genuinely care about people and take a little bit of time to inquire about what's going on in their life, people will respond, because who doesn't love to talk about themselves a little bit and have people genuinely interested? So high fives, 5 minutes of that. Okay. And so now we're down to 17 minutes gone for our 22-minute blitz. Okay. The last 5 minutes of this section of this 22-minute coach blitz, business blitzing, is this. If you are an Emerald coach or higher, you might have new customers coming into your, you will have customers coming into your coach online office. And hopefully, we can talk later about how do you find those people, but you'll go click on those new customers. And again, you'll have to have an email. And I have a template that I use, and you can totally use this. You can get more information from your coach or whatever too, okay? What they do to say to new customers. Now, this is kind of at the end of it, because in some ways I feel like this is probably the least important thing you're going to do in the 22 minutes, because a lot of times we don't hear from those people, but sometimes those people want to hear from us, and they'll sit and get information or emails or whatever, text messages from you or whatever, and maybe they'll pop one of these days and something will happen, okay? But we definitely have to try to be faithful to the people that Beachbody does give us, okay? Those leads may not ever go anywhere, but at least we need to try to reach out as much as we can to them and say, hey, I'm your coach. How are you doing? What are your goals? That kind of thing, okay? So do that for 5 minutes. In addition to, if you're not an Emerald coach, or maybe you only had one person and it doesn't take you 5 minutes to send them a form email saying, I'm your coach, then follow up with people. Follow up with some of the people that you invited yesterday or 2 days ago. Follow up with people that you've talked to. If you don't have any follow-ups, go back to the beginning and do some more invitations, okay, or high fives. That is 22 minutes. That's a 22-minute coach blitz. You could do that a couple different times a day, potentially. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I've found, and I've done it all wrong, and I've done some of it right, okay? And I will tell you this. If you do 22 minutes of that, it doesn't really even matter what time of day it is, because you could literally be sitting at your computer, like you got up for a glass of water and you took 22 minutes at 3 in the morning or something. Doesn't matter, right? It doesn't have to be somebody on the other end of the phone saying hi, because we have social media. It's mediated through our machines or devices, right? So you can do this at any time of the day. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel more confident. Even if you got no's all the way across the board, you're going to feel more confident about your doing. You're flexing, you're building your business muscles. It's just like what Tony Horton says in 22-minute hardcore. This is very fast paced and it's hard because it's only 22 minutes and I'm going to deliver on what we promised with this workout. All right. So if you do that, just even what I just told you, for 22 minutes every day, you're going to have more confidence, and that's going to come out when you talk to people, because they'll be like, I want to be a part of whatever you're doing, and you're going to get better at it. You're going to be flexing your business muscles, business building muscles, your coaching muscles, okay? And so you're going to get stronger, you're going to get better, and eventually you're just going to have so many more people that you're talking to in general. You'll get more confident and comfortable talking to people, and it's just the law of averages or the numbers is that somebody's going to say yes, because you don't just talk to 3 people and all 3 of those have to get a challenge pack for you to get Success Club or something, right? You're talking to many people every day. Okay, so that's 22 minutes. Now, I had the thought, hey, well, some of our workouts, a lot of them actually, are 30 minutes because quite frankly, a few years ago, University of Denmark did a study where it shows that 30 minutes is like the optimal workout window. In that, you get the most gains, the metabolic burn climbs in 30, and it starts to taper off at 30 minutes. Now, are you not getting any of a workout or any benefit from 45 or 60? Of course you are, but less so. It's in any one time, 30 minutes, boom. So I would say this even for your business. If you would like to have longer, like the traditional power hour or power hours, split it up. Do the 30-minute thing that I'm going to tell you right now. And then come back later, go walk your dog. I mean, a lot of us still work part-time or full-time jobs, right? Go do more stuff with your job, pick up your kids, make dinner or something, and you can come back to another 30-minute period later. You're fresh again. Maybe you get a little discouraged sometimes when people say, no, you're not going to have, that's going to all be, off your shoulders again. You're going to go again. It's kind of like doing double workouts different times of the day, which is when you actually get the most out of them because your body ramps up. And once your body realizes, aha, this person might die because we might be doing this for a while. What if we're marching through the desert for days on end? I can't be burning these calories. That's literally in some sort of brain function that's happening with your brain and your body. Start to live. Okay, same thing with your business where you can just get this big burst of energy and this big blitz and then chill out. And I mean, literally when I say like burst, I mean like we're setting the clock. Here's what I would do for 30 minutes if I had for 30 minutes, and I will be doing this even tonight. Okay, so if you have 30 minutes, of course, that's what, 8 more minutes than we had for a 22, right? So I think what we should do is increase our personal development to 10 minutes, okay? Personal development, whatever it is, 10 minutes, okay? Because of this, and somebody might think, well, why wouldn't you do invitations for longer? Isn't that the most important vital behavior? Well, no, it really isn't, because as you develop yourself as a person and as a leader, through what you're putting into yourself in terms of reading and in terms of mulling that over, in terms of even jotting down, like, I learned this. How am I going to apply that to my business? How am I going to teach this to somebody on my team? Who needs to know this? Where can I post this? And maybe my team wall. Maybe I should text a coach right now and say, yeah, or send a link or something, okay? Personal development to me truly it's kind of like the discouragement buster, but it's also your own entrepreneur okay? It's your own personal little university for developing yourself and for being encouraged and having that strength and strengthening those muscles to keep on going with this whole business building thing. Okay, so 10 minutes. And then I would just continue on kind of in the vein of what I said before. 5 minutes of inviting specifically to a challenge group. Okay, something. It doesn't even have to be one of our challenge groups where people are getting challenge packs, but it's something. It's a free group about recipes. It's a free, it could be a challenge group where we're doing these cool groups now with the app that I hope that all of you who are listening and watching this know about. It's really, really cool. Okay, so you're inviting them to something for them to make a choice to take an action on what you're saying. Okay, instead of like just vaguely inviting them to get workout or something like that. Okay, so that's 5 minutes of that. I would say another 5 minutes of the high fives are just asking about people's lives, trying to get involved with people. How are you doing? Genuinely caring, genuinely keeping track. Actually, you'd have to, keep track, maybe going back to people that said that something happened 2 months ago. Okay. So it's, again, high fives, 5 minutes of that. And then I would say 5 minutes of new customer hellos. And you could try to also, you might want to say somebody 2 or 3 days ago that you tried to reach out to. You might have something, that you want to send them or text them, or, so it could be like a follow-up with those new customers even. And I would say it's not really a follow-up in the sense that they've actually responded yet, but reaching out to new customers. The people that maybe, who Beachbody's given you. And then, and a combination thereof, if you don't really have that many that you need to take 5 minutes to do that, 5 more follow-ups. Pretty soon, if you do this for a few days, you will have people to follow up with, because you'll have a lag time of when you started with the number of days that have gone by. If you keep doing this, that's another cool thing. You're creating a new pool of people for yourself to talk to. Okay, and you don't just want to talk to any Joe Schmo. As you go into this further, you will start to develop a brand and a niche, and things will start to sort out a little bit. At first, though, let's just talk to as many people as we can. Our family members, or spouses, the people at their work, people that that have even suggested that maybe that they want to get fit, and maybe they're doing something, and you can just chat about what they're doing and educate yourself a little bit. Okay, so after a while of doing this 30 minutes or this 22 minutes, you will have a lot of people to follow up with, even if it's just trying to get back with them and asking them to make a decision about what you're offering. Okay. And again, if you don't have 5 minutes of follow-ups or new people, new customers to say hey to, go back up and do some more invites to the challenge group. Okay. So that's what I would do for 30 minutes. And I would say this, I'm going to challenge everybody to do this. I'm going to do it too. You could start today, you could start Monday, whatever you want. But how about treating this, what I'm saying, these blitzes, these 22-minute workouts for our business, or 30 minutes, like we would a challenge group? Let's do this every day for 30 days. I realize a lot of us take off a rest day, you know, like for church or, you know, that kind of thing. Great. Do that just like the workouts do, right? Take your Sunday or take your Monday or whatever it is that you want to have for like your Sabbath or something. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. But let's do this as a program for 30 days. How about that? Wouldn't that be fun? And then we could post maybe in our Team Power Blast page, or if some of you have smaller teams pages, that's great too. And just maybe we could create a hashtag for each other to know how to search it. Okay. And I think that just something so simple like this, you guys are going to build confidence. We're going to have more people to talk to. And we're going to actually have more genuinely cool interactions with people. It's not even just about having this pool of people just to like yak at. It's like connecting with people and learning through our mistakes and truly helping people get into these groups and getting healthy and fit. Because we know that that works. Once we can find people and plug them in, that this will work for them. Okay, so that's what I would say about the 22-minute and 30-minute business blitzes that we talked about today. All right, well, I'm going to turn the recording off, and because this is a live call. And so if you're watching it now and it's recorded, that's great. How about go to the Team Power Blast and maybe give feedback about what you think about this, or you know, say that I'm in for the blitz or something like that. Okay, so that's great. All right, I'm going to stop this, and you guys have a great night. Okay, bye.